Thanks so much for being here. It's crazy to think we're less than 2 months away from opening day. Catchers and pitchers have already reported. The White Sox, in our case, are getting a lot of great attention, which is going to lead right into our extended spring training game that we're having the first time in, I believe, over 10 years. We're going to be hosting a spring training game here in Winston-Salem. So we're going to be playing against the Kannapolis Club, which is very exciting for us because most of those guys are going to be on the dash at some point, whether it's this year, next year. And with our new coaching staff, our manager, Pat Leland, last year was coaching Kannapolis, and now he's going to be able to play against his former team in our ballpark. So a lot of exciting stuff going on there coming up here. I think that everybody realizes you can maybe tie together some of the things we're doing, and hopefully everybody was able to see the flash that just happened about 2 weeks ago. So a huge event here in Winston-Salem. Obviously, Belton Gray, long history of racing. It was really great to see NASCAR bring the Flash back. And so we obviously had to get involved. We were very strategic in how we got involved. One of the cars that was sponsored in the modified race, Riley Neal, who's an employee of ours in the summertime with the Dash, was rocking a Dash car. And it's a modified car, which ties into what we're all here to talk about and release today. And so Riley ended up doing really well, finished in 6th place, and we're more than happy that he works for us and represented our brand really well. But because of the rich history of racing, and stock cars in particular, and modified cars in particular, we wanted to release our Salute to Chicago brand here today. So last year, if you remember, we did the Italian Beefs off the back of me failing a 999 challenge in the dugout, which I do not wish to repeat anytime soon. I'm glad we're doing this instead. But we always love to throw back to Chicago, and because of our affiliation, which is now over 25 years strong, including Kannapolis over years strong. Started what is now NASCAR. And released for the very first time in our first rebrand of the 2025 season. We're going to bring our model out right now, where we're going to formally rebrand as the Winston-Salem Hooch Pooches. So give a round of applause for Jake coming out here. So this is going to be the official on-field look, and I'll walk you through how we arrived at this specific design. And we'll start with the cap. You can see on the cap that the pooch part of the Hooch Pooches is a fedora-wearing Boston Terrier. Boston Terriers were the most popular dog in the U.S. From 1910 all the way through Prohibition. And it's a lovable, jovial dog breed that I think a lot of people will connect with. He's wearing the fedora, sporting the era. I think as you follow along our journey here and all the releases we've had, whether it be our now Thursday uniforms from the Golden Era look that we had, as well as our Tobacco Beetles, we kind of call back to this era. One of the heights and peaks of Winston-Salem and their long history as well. So we wanted to get him to look timely, as well as you have the jersey, which you can see has been inspired by some bones, obviously tying back to the dog. Hooch Pooches, Hooch obviously just being kind of an illegal form of liquor that was being run at that time. Hooch being the Boston Terrier referenced earlier as well. And with the tagline of Bone Dry this year. So the bone connection back to being a dry time and Prohibition both. So try to tie all those together. We went with the black and the pinstripes, much like I'm supporting right now. Jake's pulling off a little better than me currently, but these are going to be the exact on-field with the white pants we'll have this season. So could not be more excited to release our first one this year and have these on field here in June. So thanks so much, Jake. I believe he's going to stay up here as well. I also want to make sure that everybody's aware of the merchandise line that we have. Of course, you're going to be able to get some of your gear to whether you're in love with the pooch or you're in love with just the colorway, the branding. I think we have a little bit of something for everybody. So our models are joining us now. Some of my favorites, actually probably my favorite, the big logo dog piece of sun coming out of the mouth here. But we do have some short sleeve, long sleeve options. We also have some options for children. My daughter's supposed to be sporting one of those. She's a little camera shy apparently, so you'll have to check that one out online. But they're all available already at ws-dash.com/shop. They'll be right on our homepage when you visit our homepage as well. And these will be available in store all season long. And this is a brand we're really excited about. So hopefully, if we get the reaction we think we're going to get, then we are going to bring this back in years to come. Because I know internally our staff has really enjoyed putting this one together and brainstorming some of the ideas and the themes that will go on during this game as well. So definitely have to thank our partners here as well, the Call family. I know we are going to be having a tasting, as you can see some of the products that are supported here. We are also going to have specialty cocktails during the game as well. So if you have anything that you see today, something you like, first of all, take some home with you and pick it up at your local ABC store. But come to the game for sure. Help us celebrate the Hooch Pooches on the field while getting all the beverages that you need. And a lot of these are going to be inspired as well by some of the era that we're trying to call back to as well. So it's really a nice feature, a nice partner to fit with our brand that we're doing here as well. I believe even they have some, especially at their location, you have to go check it out if you haven't been out there. It's really a pretty quick drive, great product, and they have some really nice, especially the cars they have out there, are really cool to see as well. So I highly encourage you to check that out. We are going to be playing, this game is going to be on Friday, June 20th. So that's going to be one of our biggest. Everybody knows the 4th of July and opening day. But in my opinion, this and probably our next release that we're going to be doing in a couple months will be our two biggest ones for this year. I will say, since we're talking about our rebrands, we are bringing back a few of them, which we've put online already. The Hype Pens is going to be back. The Italian Beef is also going to be back. The Tobacco Beetles will return. And I know that we're all here today celebrating a new brand, but just a quick history. Last year when we stood here and did these releases for both Hype Pens and Italian Beef, I'm not sure we really knew how big those releases were going to be. We got featured on MLB Network as having one of the top 6 jerseys of the year for our Hype Pens. Additionally, we were nominated for a Golden Bobblehead for the best alternate rebrand on the entire year. That's across all 120 clubs. The best local activation as well for Hype Pens and Italian Beefs both. So we got national recognition. Ballpark Digest also ranked us in their top 10 of last year. So I think we finally figured out what represents this team, this community extremely well, the White Sox extremely well. And so we're hoping to just add to all those accolades with this one as well. And hopefully you guys can see this being talked about across the country because we're really excited for this one specifically. I know that pretty soon here I'm going to get chased out of the building, but I'll be happy to take some questions as well from any of the fans and media here as well. So thank you to our models. I appreciate it. We're going to have to go put those back in the shop right now. Thank you so much.
The rebrands, how much fun has it been for you and your staff to kind of come up with these creative ideas?
So we meet in July or August almost every year. And we sit down and we talk about what made the last brand successful, what are some of the areas maybe we missed or we wish we would have done differently. We go through all those, and everybody brings ideas to the table, and we kind of sit around, grab a couple of drinks, and just think, what if, no bad ideas. And all of a sudden we come up with a list of about 100 different brands and ideas we could have. And so the challenging part for us, because we have such a creative group, is really not coming up with the ideas. It's figuring out which idea we're going to go with this year. And I know there's a couple who've been sitting on some ideas for like 3 consecutive years. Like, I know it's good, it's just we found these other 1 or 2 that just happen to be, for whatever reason, a little bit better. But that's the fun part. Then we sit down as a committee and really start to talk about, okay, how are we going to release this? What's it looking to be? How's the logo? What's the colorway? What's going to happen in game? Because that game, as you know, we present everyone a little bit different and theme it that way. So this one in particular, I think when we had the dog, that kind of attracted a group of people that said, well, that's really fun. We haven't done something like that really ever. And then I think with just the era, it fit in really well to what we've been doing already and it has shown success. The market here has just responded so well. Tobacco Beetles last year, the game got rained out and it's still our #1 seller with all the rebrands we did last year. So I think we started to figure out that this is what a lot of people want.
You said you're going to bring some back. About how many rebrands will you have for this season?
So this is the first 1-game rebrand that we're releasing. We are going to have a couple full weekends that we're going to be doing. Hype Pens that we did last year is going to be coming back for 3 games. We have an unreleased brand that we're also going to be doing for 3 games. April. That's brand new. Italian Beefs will be back, Tobacco Beagles will be back, and then our Copa brand is going to be back as well, which we have a couple of updates and tweaks we're going to release very soon for that as well. So there's a lot of changes on the field. One thing that maybe you won't see here quite as much, but we also did a refresh to our away jerseys. So brand new away jerseys for that first time in 5 years that are really nice. They actually sport the Winston-Salem word mark as opposed to just saying dash. So when we go to all these other communities, they understand that, hey, Winston's in our league and hopefully playing really well as well, and they can check out some of the fun things we're doing here locally.
What is it for you personally that really kind of stands out about the Hooch Pooches rebrand? What's your favorite thing about it?
So it's nice whenever you can find a brand that really attaches to several different things. It's one thing just to say, all right, in Chicago, we're going to do a sandwich, right? That's fun, but it kind of ends there. This one has so much more of a connection to Chicago via the bootlegging. Then you have the era, which is, that's a peak era for Chicago as well, I think well known in the movies. And you got a dog associated with this as well. And throughout my career, I haven't seen many merchandise items fly like dogs before. I mean, it's crazy. We did a pug, Iron Pugs, a former team, Iron Wieners, we did a former team. All of those sold really well. I think there's already been 2 animal-related one-game rebrands released this year by other minor league teams. So we know this is what the fans want, and most specifically, it's the kids. Anytime they can see something more approachable, like a dog or a puppy or something like that, it works really well. So that's why we had to make sure that we brought all of the youth sizes and all the youth options out here. Some pink T-shirts that my daughter already had on earlier today. So this is just a really fun one that ties back, and most importantly, it ties to us. I mean, if it wasn't for the racing history and we just had the Clash, I'm not sure we'd be as excited about this one, but because of the length of history, I mean, we're standing right across the street from what formerly was the Winston Cup Museum, and there's so much history from here right down the street to Bowman Gray, it makes too much sense. So overall, we're excited for this. Good. All right. That's the photo, so I guess that's my son. I gotta get out of here real quick. I'm gonna take it out. Thank you everybody for coming, and hopefully we'll see you on June 20th this year.